Let's take a look at how current issues and trends will affect how design could be in 2070. Right now, we are all bracing ourselves through a pandemic that has rocked the planet. Since the pandemic has progressed to lockdowns in cities across the globe, families have been mostly confined to their homes and their daily routines have changed almost for good. As we've been forced to practice social distancing, people begin to realize how much they had craved human connection, especially for people who live alone. Not being able to dine with friends, see family members, or interact with coworkers has put a strain on the human spirit. With this sudden sense of feeling closed in, we have started to become more aware of ourselves and the things around us. We notice our thoughts more, we are more sensitive to our homes, and we notice the absence or presence of sounds that have been taken for granted before the pandemic. We begin to miss the voices of our friends and the sound of everyday hustle that are now replaced with altered soundscapes. Now, of course, the new everyday life isn't the same for everyone. A person living alone in Phoenix may spend more time in silence, not engaging in conversation, but they may hear a plane flying by, a car driving by, or playing loud music, a bird chirping, a dog barking, or the sound of a neighbor's voice outside. These sounds help her to know that beyond her apartment, there is still a vast community that exists. Something is missing as she looks out her window and reminisces. It's the fresh air. Going out for regular walks, finding grass to walk on, and finding nature helps her to feel refreshed.
A soundscape is any collection of sounds, almost like a painting is a collection of visual attractions. I think when you listen carefully to the soundscape, it becomes quite miraculous when you listen carefully and marvel. Well, we hear the train going off into the distance. We can hear some birds, of course. We can hear some traffic noise from Highway 7, quite distant. The most interesting thing, of course, is the birds at this time of the day. You can hear them in all directions. I think if you listen carefully, your life is enhanced. I think it becomes much more interesting. It's the same as looking carefully. If you can use your senses properly, and in art we try to get people to use their senses, to listen carefully, to look carefully at things, that enriches your life.
With the external threat of the virus now creating the need for separation, architects say that they are focusing on the theory of prospect and refuge, in which a house design includes areas that allow occupants to feel both secure and have the ability to observe the outside. The pandemic has, in most cases, exacerbated the need for sound and heightened our sense of environment. The current crisis has also reinforced the importance of flexible space. More than ever, flexible space is being bonded with technology, and this is more of a reality in the future of design, where spaces are being controlled or infused with the electronics. Controlling music in certain rooms to set the mood, enhancing the exterior sound of rain or birds singing, or having the control to block out sound completely from the outdoors or from the outside of our bedrooms. This is the kind of flexibility that will keep the human spirit alive during forced isolation and keep us more connected to the environment. Here is the example of how future design controls sound acoustics in our urban environment.